Welcome back to Top 10 Scary Urban Legends, and if you haven't already, be sure to click that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you never miss out on a future video ever again. From haunted subway lines to a criminal case called the Hello Kitty, here are your top 10 scary China urban legends that will terrify you. I'm your host Andrew, and let's get right into this list. Coming in at our number 10 spot is the Hello Kitty, a haunting tale that began in May 1999 when a young girl around the age of 13 went to the police to report that she was being haunted by a woman in her 20s. The girl claimed that this woman was tortured. The police had been searching for a woman with a very similar description, and so they decided to investigate. Their search led them to a flat on Granville Road 31 where they discovered a Hello Kitty doll stuffed with a woman's head. The victim was identified as Fan Man Yi, a nightclub hostess who had reportedly failed to pay up a large debt to some powerful men. Some have speculated that there may be a connection to the Chinese mafia as well. However, the investigation took a shocking turn when it was revealed that the 13-year-old girl who had reported she was involved with a group of older men, including her boyfriend, who had planned and carried out the brutal crime. And despite the heinousness of this crime, the case became famous around the world due to the unusual discovery of the Hello Kitty doll. Some believe that the spirit of this tortured girl may have been haunting the young girl, but many others attribute it to a guilty conscience. At our number 9 spot, we have Beijing's Metro Line 1. The construction of Beijing's Metro Line 1 in 1965 was a challenging endeavor, with dangerous accidents and broken equipment marring the early phases. According to an urban legend, the troubles were caused by the vengeful homeless spirits whose graves were disturbed during the construction. To appease these spirits, monks were brought in to perform ceremonies, promising that the metro would close before 11 p.m. This ghostly story is likely due to the city's ancient history of human habitation and evidence that remains were disturbed during construction. The line also services the Babaoshan Revolutionary Cemetery, adding more to this eerie connection. However, the story is likely just a tale, as most of these metro lines in Beijing now close after 11 p.m. At our number 8 spot, we have the disappearance of 3,000 Chinese troops. The urban legend of the Nanjing soldiers tell the story of almost 3,000 soldiers who disappeared without a trace in 1939 during the Second Sino-Japanese War. The soldiers were stationed in the hills surrounding Nanjing to defend a bridge against an impending Japanese attack. However, when Colonel Li Fuxin checked on them the next day, they were completely gone, and an investigation team found the site completely abandoned with no signs of struggle. Heavy weapons were taken in place, and troops stationed at the bridge claimed no one had slipped by in the night. The disappearance of the soldiers remains a mystery to this day, and various theories abound, from abduction to extraterrestrial beings to an elaborate ruse by the Chinese army to fake the presence of troops. However, most historians believe the soldiers were likely victims of the brutal war, either captured and executed by the Japanese or killed in action and buried in unmarked graves. Regardless of the truth, the eerie tale of the Nanjing soldiers continues to haunt the popular imagination, reminding us of the horrors of war and the mysteries that can lurk in the shadows of history. Coming in at our number 7 spot, we have the last bus to Beijing's Fragrant Hills. It all began on a dark and possibly stormy night on November 14th, 1995, when a young man boarded the last bus heading to Beijing's Fragrant Hills, located in the Haidian district. Shortly after the man boarded the Route 302 bus, two mysterious men tried to flag the bus down. The bus driver was initially hesitant to pick up the men since they weren't waiting at the specific bus stop. However, the driver eventually decided to stop after the conductor reminded him that it was the last bus ride of the night. Once the two mysterious men boarded the bus, passengers were surprised that they were dressed in Qing Dynasty robes and that there are actually 3 men, the third sporting long messy hair, supported by the 2 roadside creepers. The men's faces were said to be as white as snow, and they didn't interact with any of the passengers. As the bus journeyed on, passengers gradually began to disembark, and the young man remained inside with the mystery trio. That's when things took a very strange turn. The old woman suddenly accused the young man of stealing her wallet, leading to a heated argument. The quarrel was eventually resolved when the old woman insisted that the two go to the nearest police station to settle the matter. Once off the bus, the young man grew angry with the old woman since there was no police station in sight. But then the old woman dropped a bombshell. She claimed that the 3 robed men did not have legs and must have been ghosts. The young man then turned around to see that the 3 men had disappeared without a trace. At a number 6 spot, we have the haunted office building. If you're looking for a spine-chilling tale to keep you at night, look no further than the Xiangyang building in the heart of Shenzhen. According to local legends, this office building is haunted by the vengeful ghosts of past employees who were blamed for the failures of various businesses in the 1960s and 70s. It's said that these employees were executed on the premises during China's Cultural Revolution, and their spirits have been restless ever since. But the story doesn't end there. As Shenzhen began to develop more rapidly, someone had the bright idea to capitalize on the building's haunted reputation by hiring a ghost specialist to advise on how to handle the restless spirits. And to this day, many people are doing things to appease the spirits that are supposedly contained in this building. In the hump of our list, we have the Dragon Pillar. The Yang'an Elevated Road in Shanghai is known for heavy traffic, but it's also known for a mysterious Dragon Pillar. The 15-kilometer long expressway has a pillar at the cross-section with Nangbei Gojia near People Square that's decorated with metallic finishing and 9 large bronze dragons. According to legend, construction workers had trouble drilling to the required depth in 1995, so government officials invited feng shui masters to look at the site, but they refused to prescribe a solution. A monk from the Jade Buddha temple eventually performed a religious ceremony and asked for the pillar to be covered with 9 dragons, since this was the resting spot for the city's guardian dragon. After the ceremony was finished, workers installed 7 pillars at the site and construction resumed. However, the monk who performed the ritual died a few days later, leading many to believe his death was a punishment for spilling the secrets on the dragon's home. Despite officials dismissing the story as fiction, it is a well-known urban myth among locals, and people believe that you may face the same punishment as this man did if you decide to spill the secret of this dragon's home. At a number 4 spot, we have the single Braid Road. The Chinese University of Hong Kong is known for its beautiful campus and stunning views. However, there is a road that runs along the campus that has gained a sinister reputation over the years. This road is called the Single Braid Road, and it's said to be haunted by a female ghost with 1 long braid. Legend has it that the ghost is the spirit of a young woman who passed away from a tragic death many years ago. According to the story, the woman was an illegal immigrant who tried to sneak into Hong Kong from the mainland with her boyfriend. While they were on the train, the police boarded to check passports. In a moment of panic, the woman decided to jump off of the train, but her braid got caught in the window frame and it was ripped off of her scalp along with her face. The woman stumbled onto the Single Braid Road where she passed away. Since then, many people have reported seeing a ghostly figure on the road, and the apparition is said to be a young woman with a long braid, dressed in traditional Chinese clothing. She's often seen walking alone at night, and some say that she appears to be searching for something. There are numerous sightings of the ghost over the years, and many students claim to have seen her. Number 3, the Death Worm. The Gobi Desert, located between Mongolia and China, is said to have a Mongolian death worm, otherwise known as the intestine worm, due to its appearance of being very fleshy and red in color. This 2 to 7 foot long creature has the ability to spit out venomous liquid out of its mouth, and if you even get close enough to touch the creature, it's believed that the entire body is covered in a sticky poisonous substance that will kill you on touch. It can even electrocute you the same way an eel can. While movies on this creature depict it as this large colossal being, it's actually believed to be a lot smaller, around 7 feet long. But regardless, the fact that this creature can hide anywhere in the desert sands and come out with basically no weaknesses makes it one of the most dangerous and scariest ones to see on this list. Number 2, the Knock. Imagine you're alone in this tiny spacecraft. It's your first time up there, all alone in an endless space. Then suddenly you hear a knock, as if you're back home. Well, this really happened. Back in 2003, Yang Lingwei became the first astronaut sent into space by the Chinese space program. When he was up there, he heard something that was something like a knock. He described it as, quote, someone knocking the body of the spaceship just as knocking an iron bucket with a wooden hammer. Sound waves cannot travel through space, which makes it very, very quiet for us. So this is just more reason to question what this sound really was. There were even other Chinese astronauts between 2005 and 2008 who reported very similar sounds. And it's not like you can just open the door to check this. Maybe the Chinese space program has some features that NASA doesn't, or maybe there was something actually out there in space trying to get into the spacecraft. Number 1. Room 111. The legend known as Room 111 or the Dimension Traveler is about an electrical engineering student who believed that he could travel to another dimension by creating a magnetic field with his self-made contraption. He had hoped to travel to another dimension and possibly even time travel. The legend has evolved over time, with some versions stating that the student was successful in his experiment and that he disappeared into another dimension. Others claim that his experiment went horribly wrong. Some versions even say that the student's ghost still haunts Room 111 and that strange phenomena occur in the room, such as flickering lights and doors opening and closing on their own. Regardless of the accuracy of the story, it has become a popular ghost story among students and has been passed down from generation to generation in China. Well, these are the top 10 scary China urban legends that will terrify you. What did you guys think about this list? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts and some suggestions for the future. Be sure to click that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you never miss a future video again. I'm yours, Andrew, and I hope you guys have a scary day.